Yo, what's going on, Chris?
Hey, what's going on? How are you today?
Good, man. I can't complain. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Content Creators Lounge, curated by T Max Network. I am your host, T Max, and this is my co host.
Chrissy True Blue.
Before we start the show, let's go ahead on and put the banner up, let everybody know they can find us over here on the Content Creators Lounge. And we got a schedule. All panelists, if you want to be a panelist on T Max Network, just do me a favor. All you got to do is email us at tmaxnetworkllc at gmail.com. You can email us topics. You also can send us clips, stuff that you want us to cover and talk about. Once again, that's tmaxnetworkllc at gmail.com. We got a community spotlight. Chrissy, you ready to do it?
Yes, I am. So the community spotlight is Latasha Watts. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming to the T-Max Network. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am Latasha Watts, of course. I'm actually a doctor. I have a doctorate in education, and I do a lot of different things. But I guess my main focus today will be that I'm an author. So I'm an author of poetry, and I write short stories. I did bring two books with me today, just to kind of showcase what I do. Um, Before I get started, you can find me on Instagram at latasha.watts. That's WATTS.12. And then you can also find me on Facebook at Latasha Watts. So my first book is a book of poetry. So it is called Me, the Image You Don't See, the poem book. So what I did was I just wrote a lot of different poems and I put them in topics. So if it's grief, if it's relationships, if it's um, loss, if it's heartbreak, I wrote those poems and put them in different categories. So then you can kind of go to that section in the content section and find a poem that relates to whatever mood or whatever situation you're going through. And then hopefully you can find a poem that will help uplift you through whatever situation you're going through. And then so this book is also found on Amazon.com. It's also found at liberationislit.com, which is a private bookseller. And then my second book, I wanted to be a little bit creative because everybody doesn't do poetry, right? Everybody doesn't like that, which is fine. So if you don't like poetry and you do like to read, I created a book of short stories, which is called Shattered Memories. And it's short stories that may be 5 pages, they may be 10 pages, or it may be 12 pages. And the reason why I wrote short stories is because everybody doesn't like to read. So I didn't want to like have a 500-word book where people get kind of tiresome down and don't want to finish reading it. But I think people can read something that's 5 pages or 10 pages. And I made a short story because at the end, the story ends, each story ends, but it leaves the reader on like a cliffhanger. So that reader kind of comes up with their own conclusion of what that story, how that story can end, how they want it to end. And then so the short stories, it follows the lives of like 5 different women and it follows them through relationships, some poor decision-making skills, career-wise, and different things like that. You know, a lot of Black females and the decisions that we made, but it kind of relates to reality, of course, and then how we navigate through those decisions that we made. And then I'm actually working on another poetry books, which I'm trying to put it out about May, which that will be called Mindfulness. So it'll be MIND/FULL-NES, because you can think of it as you're mindful, your mindfulness, and then your mind is full of mess.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
So again, it's taken a lot of different poems also in that book, but it's more poetry as, you know, as in more of a, I guess, more mature, experienced adult and the things that we go through in life. So it can relate to a lot of, I guess, an older population in regards to different experiences that they've kind of worked through. And then all 3 books was, like I said, will be available on Amazon as well as liberationislit.com.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Could you give us a little bit more elaboration about your last book that you're coming out with as far as the poem base? I know you were saying it's like for an older crowd. So by it being for an older crowd, is it more mature? Is it more things that we can relate to as far as that is concerned?
Yes. So I think when I wrote my first poetry book, it was a lot from high school and younger age of college. This second poetry book, it is a lot of explicit coming
Oh.
of your own sexuality in it.
Okay.
It's a lot of you know how you go through relationships and you get into that mindset of that you just despise the opposite gender and you just despise relationships. It's coming into
Right.
an attack in a little bit
Okay.
too.
So
But
it's a little bit toxicity
it
going on.
is.
Just a
But
little
it's
bit. Okay.
but it's also taking accountability
Okay.
for the things that we as women do in relationships too. So it's not like male bashing completely. It is taking a lot of accountability too. But I think people can relate to it because we go through so much throughout life that when you're putting things down on paper and you putting those words out there, it's kind of like, whoo, that
Yeah,
line was
it's a
powerful.
little different feel, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
So
different
hopefully
feel.
this poetry book will be more of me kind of like just putting it out there in regards
Okay.
to people my age can relate to and feel like, man, I understand that. That's how I felt too, type thing.
Okay, so this is based off of personal experiences as well, or
Yes,
some, or just okay.
some of them, but then some of them I was given like a challenge or I did like a speaking engagement and it was a topic. So
Okay.
they gave me a topic and asked me to write a poem. So then I put that poem that I wrote into that book too. So a lot of it is personal experiences. Other ones are just thoughts and
Okay.
emotions mixed in together.
Okay, sounds like a pretty good book. Like all three of your books really sound really intriguing and wanting to know more about.
Yes, I think so. I think so. And I would love to add on to the short stories. I would love to add on to that and either make a conclusion because like I said, the short stories kind of stop.
Okay.
And then if
So
I can
it's based off of what someone feels. So at the end with the short stories, you want to come back along and close the story to let them know what the ending was, which makes sense.
yes. Yes, yes. Because people read it and they're like, well, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me, what do you want to happen?
Right. They're able to put their own spin onto things that probably how they look at life, or so with the ending of the short story book, it's basically gonna be the chapters that's closing it out.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So if I add on to it, it'll be added on to that previous short story and actually finishing it to a
Okay.
close. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is there anything else you want to tell us about that you have going on?
I have a lot going on. Like I model, which I love modeling and being on the runway. I've gotten into acting as of last year. So
Okay.
I've been in a few movies as extras and I've been in some movies with some speaking roles. So I'm really excited about that. So
Okay.
hopefully I'll see myself on the screen coming up. So I'm really excited to see myself in the movie theater.
Oh, that is really good. We're really proud of you here.
Thank you. Thank you. I realized too, like, um, there's no limit to what we can do. I think we limit ourselves because we're such big critics of ourselves that
Yeah.
we limit our own abilities and capabilities out of fear or out of fear of rejection or because you think that you're not good enough for something or to do something. But we have to realize that the worst somebody can say is no. And if they say no, you're going to be in the same predicament you was in before you asked.
Right. So
But
it
if
doesn't
they say
hurt.
yes, then what? We go for it.
Right. So it doesn't hurt to ever ask a question, basically.
Exactly. Exactly. I just want to say thank you again for the opportunity. If anybody is interested in any of my books, you can always go to Amazon.com or you can go to liberationislit.com to purchase, or you can reach out to me directly and purchase it and I will actually ship it to you. So
Okay.
yeah, you guys stay tuned for everything else that I got going on in my creative mind. All right, so this is the poetry book right here. There's a lot of topics on here. some relationship. There's love in here because there is love about relationships in here too. So and then this is a book of poetry, and then this is my short story. It follows about 5 Black women through relationships, careers, some poor decision making, and then it kind of leaves the reader on like a cliffhanger. So the story ends, but it doesn't really end. It gives the reader an opportunity to kind of play out the story how they want to play it out. And then both of the books are found on Amazon.com and liberationislit.com.
Okay.